This is Hayley Arnold, student number 5240396, doing my roleplay for 3005 PSY in trimester 1, 2025. Okay, so nice to meet you, Jordan. We have discussed on the phone before that you are kind of having issues with your career and kind of a path to take at the moment.
Yeah.
Do you want to elaborate on that a little bit?
Basically, I'm working in the gym at the moment, and I've been there for 2 years, and I really love it. But I've just come to a realization that recently that it's just not supporting me financially as much as I'd want it to. So I've kind of been looking for another job, and I have tried one thing, but I just didn't necessarily like it too much. So now I'm kind of just sitting on the fence between the two.
And okay, so from what you've just said, you are struggling with making ends meet financially at the moment, which is kind of the whole reason why you are like trying to find out what to do with these two jobs, what
Yeah.
path to take. Financially, is it an issue staying with your current job at the moment? Like, is it not going to financially support you enough?
It does financially support me enough, but I feel like I'm just put under so much stress. Because I feel like it just isn't enough. Like, I'm just barely scraping by, like living paycheck to paycheck. But I want to be able to have like a bit of extra money to put into savings and stuff. But I just can't at the moment with the job and the hours that I'm getting.
So it sounds like that would be a little bit stressful, not having a lot of money to fall back on. And am I right in saying like you're kind of living week to week at the moment? Yeah. And it is brave of you to come talk about that. A lot of people struggling with money sometimes get a little bit embarrassed to talk about it. So it is great that you are initiating the change to kind of get help in this situation. So I want to explore kind of the pros and cons between the two jobs at the moment. So your first job, or the one you're currently in, did you want to kind of talk about that job, maybe what you do at this position, where you are at, how long you've been working there for?
So basically I'm just a receptionist in the gym. I'm just working a casual position there at the moment. That's like basically why I'm not getting as much hours and stuff as I'd like to. But I really just enjoy it. I feel like it's like suits my lifestyle. And just the people there, like everyone's around my age, so it's easy to make conversation. Like the job itself is pretty easy. So and like I'm staying in aircon all day. It's just an enjoyable place to be for me.
So from what I'm hearing, you like being in an area of comfort. You would enjoy being in a workplace that kind of aligns with what you do day to day. So you work at the gym, so I'm assuming you go to the gym as a hobby as well. And coming to that conclusion, I would assume that going to the gym is something that keeps you happy, would keep you active. And is that something you enjoy a lot?
Like I feel like as well working there just makes things easier. Like can go to work and train straight after, so it's not that hassle of like having to sit in traffic on the way home and then going back. Like it's just so convenient for me. I think that's as well why I love it so much, because of the convenience.
And it sounds like you enjoy this position a lot, and enjoying your job means that you try your best at it. Would that be correct? And do you get like the recognition from your peers and your managers at this position?
I feel like coming from my old jobs and stuff into this job, it's definitely a really positive workplace. Like we have a bunch of different work group chats where everyone's like, we have a actual hyping up group chat where everyone will hype each other up if we've like hit KPIs for the day. We have like a monthly team meeting to go over like what goals we hit and like what goals we want to put in for the next month, where we get free food and stuff. So it's like just a really positive place to be overall. So
yeah. So what I'm hearing is that this workplace is really positive. How do you not have these financial struggles? If it was just based on like how much you enjoy this job, you would stay primarily with the gym.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and okay, so I want to explore this new position that you have discussed. Did you want to elaborate on what that kind of job is?
So my friend at the gym suggested that she spoke to me how she was going to go in and do a traffic control course because obviously like they make a lot of money and stuff, so she did bring it up with me and I kind of brushed it off at first, but then recently I've been obviously financially struggling, so I kind of took it into mind, and then we went and did our course together, and then I had to do like a day of placement. We have to do 20 hours of placement, so I went for a day, and I don't know, I feel like it was just I took a big step back because I thought I'd enjoy it so much, especially knowing how much money they make, but I don't know, I just didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would. It kind of made me second guess what I actually want to do and if it's worth it or not.
Yeah. So, like you said, you really only kind of found this position through a work friend at the gym.
Yeah.
If money wasn't a struggle, would this be a job that you would usually go for? If you weren't working at the gym as well, sorry.
Probably not. I feel like, as bad as it sounds, I'm very much like I want to stand in aircon all day, so I don't really, I did one day at the traffic control thing and I was like, oh my god, I don't want to stand in the sun.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, I feel like I kind of realised that it's not necessarily something that I'd choose or want to do, but yeah, money-wise, I think that
it's kind of like what you need to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like you mentioned earlier that this the gym that you're working at currently has a really positive work environment and you get along with everybody there. Even though you've only done a little bit of placement at this new job, would you say that you could get along with the people that work there easy, or is it kind of a different mix of people, not like the gym?
It's definitely a different mix of people. There's just a lot of different personalities. I feel like it would take a bit of time getting used to, especially because there's so many different companies that you can go into, but I feel like it is a bit full on, and whereas like with the gym, everyone's kind of same type of mindset, so it'd be hard adjusting to it, but I feel like I would be able to eventually.
Yeah, and even though with the gym you do kind of prioritize an active lifestyle, so working at a gym kind of makes sense for you as a person, even though you will be doing this traffic controlling place and it is something where you kind of are outside moving around a lot, it's more of a different kind of active that you're not looking for. You're more of a people person, wanting to interact with customers, stuff like that. In this placement that you have done, even in only the couple of hours you have done, was there any kind of positives that you found working at this place apart from maybe the income?
I feel like it's a bit hard to say because the company that I went and worked for obviously wasn't the best, as I was told by workers that actually worked there. But then I do have a few other friends that work in different companies, and they say that they love their job because of the company they're with. So I feel like maybe one day if I chose a different company to go work for, I could like it. But I feel like I had a very bad first impression.
Yeah, and even though with this company and having that bad first impression, would you have the desire to maybe look around at these other companies that your friends have worked for and try those ones out as well?
Yeah, I feel like I definitely would. I have messaged a few people just seeing how they enjoy it and stuff, and they have told me they loved it. So I feel like it really does depend on the people you work with and how well they train you and stuff like that.
Yeah. So it's great to see that you're already taking the initiative to look around, explore what your pathways are in this new job. And it's showing that you already have this desire that you want to find something that's more stable for you. Would you say that this financial struggle has been a really big stress on your life, or maybe is it just something that you've kind of thought that in the future it might get worse?
I feel like at the moment, like I feel like in the past I would have thought in the future it might get worse, but now I am in the future and it is worse. And now, like recently I've been hit with so many bills and I've had to ask my partner to like cover some things for me financially, so I feel like I have almost like a sense of guilt that he's having to pay for things for me when I'm my own person. I feel like I should be able to pay for it myself.
Yeah, so from what you're saying, like I can see that you're feeling a little bit guilty, maybe frustrated, that you're having to rely on other people to kind of help you out financially. Do you live out of home?
Yeah, so I live with my partner and my sister and her partner.
And I'm assuming, do you guys rent? Yeah, so even though you're splitting the rent between a group of people, it still would be a lot. You know, just coming out of school, having to try like juggle maybe car registrations and maybe other hobbies and stuff that is like costing you money. Would there be any expenses that are different from a year ago that have put you in a more like struggling state?
I think I have a few, like I have dental appointments now because I got an Invisalign and stuff like that, and I think there's just a few things that like I want but I just can't save the money, and I think that's playing a big role too, of like I need to get more money so that I can afford the things that I do want.
And say there was no kind of financial struggle at the moment, would you be staying at this gym indefinitely, or is it something that maybe in 10 years, like is it something you see yourself doing in 10 years time, for example?
Probably not in 10 years time. I feel like it's just a good job to have as like someone who doesn't know what they want from like career wise. It's just like a fun job and it does align with my lifestyle, so that's the main reason I'm there at the moment.
So you like having the comfort of and how long have you worked at this job?
Going on 2 years.
So you've worked there enough to kind of get the gist of everything, and so it would be such a big step to go into this new entirely different career and have to learn all these new protocols and how to actually do the job. And would that kind of stress you out, like having to know everything for this first job and then having to learn a whole new set of skills for this next job?
I feel like that does play a big part of it, especially just being like the new person at the job. I think too, like I like being in the comfort that I know everything at my job and not having to be that new person.
Which would be a struggle, because do you work with, you said previously how you got this like idea from someone that you work with. When you've done this placement, have you worked with this person, or are you kind of like alone?
Fully alone, like with people that I've never met before.
So that would be kind of stressful, being in a whole new environment. And from like you said, it was traffic controlling, so that would be a high stress level environment, having to work in, kind of having to pick up everything pretty quickly because something could go wrong really easily. Does that kind of stress you out too, that you don't have like a supportive like inner circle in that group, that if you were struggling with something, do you feel a little bit nervous like asking for help?
I feel like definitely would help if I had like my friend there, for example, but I know that eventually I just have to learn to like adapt to the new job and new people and stuff like that, but it's just hard at first to try and do that.
And what is most important to you in a career? Like, what do you look for when you're looking for these jobs, or like with your current job? What's something that you really prioritize in a work environment?
Mainly just how I feel at the end of the day. Like, I obviously don't want to be going home every day and waking up going, like, not wanting to go to work.
Yeah.
Like, at the moment I love going to work, it doesn't feel like work, but like I dread a day that I have to wake up and go like to a job I hate.
Yeah. So I can see that you already have like a need for change. You need the financial stability. It's if you stay at this old job and don't really look for something new, you're going to be in this never-ending cycle of trying to make ends meet. But also on the other hand, if you do go into this new job, it's going to be something that you're not enjoying 100%. So you might not, put your 100% effort in. Would I be right in saying that?
Yeah, definitely.
And so, say you wanted to stay with this job at the gym, you didn't want to do this track control anymore. Would it be beneficial to you if you were able to get a raise in income, or maybe if you were to like climb the ladder a little bit and maybe become like a manager or something like that? Would that be possible at all?
They have offered me like a team leader role where it's like full-time hours and stuff. But like I kind of shut it off. It was like a few months ago, I kind of shut it off just because I was a bit scared.
Yeah.
And I didn't think I was ready to like take on like a bigger job. But now that I'm like either having to work at the gym or go and do a bigger job, I feel like I probably could like grow within the gym.
Yeah. And so you have been offered like a higher position. Would you, knowing now that you might be a little bit more ready to do it, would you take that chance and maybe talk to your managers and see if that is a possibility anymore, or is it kind of like it was a one-time offer?
I feel like I definitely probably could talk to them. They're pretty understanding and stuff like that, and they are still looking for like a team leader in the workplace. But yeah.
So if you were to get this position, would that include more hours and a higher pay, or is it just kind of like a set amount of hours?
So it's basically just like the normal full-time like rate, so you'd get full-time hours, but I'd be on salary, so I'd still be getting a good amount of pay every week.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. And if you were to get this position, you wouldn't bother with trying to find another job, or would there still be that kind of like thought in the back of your mind that it still might not be enough money for you to live comfortably?
Probably not. Like it probably would. I think mainly the reason is that I don't get enough hours at the gym, so I'm not earning enough money because I don't get enough hours. But with the team leader role, like it would give me full-time hours.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so we are running out of time a little bit here, but I just want to make sure that I'm getting everything correct with what we've talked about today. So you came to me talking about some difficulties you were having with choosing some career paths. On one hand, you have this job that you're in currently at the gym that you really enjoy. It's a really good work environment, something that you're comfortable with, but the only con is that it's not letting you live comfortably financially. And on the other hand, you have this new job that you were talking with your friend that even though it would bring in a little bit more money, it's still something that you don't really have a desire to do in the morning. You wouldn't look forward to doing that job. And we were able to kind of see the pros and the cons with staying with that gym job versus going to the traffic controlling place, and able to talk about maybe if we had a change of position at this previous job that it would kind of help you a little bit more with kind of it would give you a little bit more freedom with your money if you're able to get a higher position at this job versus maybe trying to go into a whole new environment. Would that be correct?
Yeah.
Great. So maybe in the future we could talk more about maybe how to get into that new position, what kind of changes we could make, maybe even some lifestyle changes that may help with your financial situation. Would that be good?
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, thank you for coming to talk to me today.
Thank you so much.
That's okay.